So I was born in South Bend, but I've lived in Indianapolis for as long as I can remember from a very early age, and Indy's always been a special place to me. Sally is my wife. We got married in 2015, and we always knew we wanted kids. I'm proud to say we've got twin 6-year-old boys, James and Finnegan. So November 2023, there was a work day just like every other in my life. I had meetings all around town, clients, meeting with people I enjoy meeting with. And my day was wrapping up, and I was driving to go get my kids from their daycare. And while I was driving, I kind of noticed something felt off. And when I parked, I noticed I couldn't feel my right foot. And I thought, maybe I was sitting on my wallet wrong. Maybe something was going on. I don't know. But my feeling would come back. It was like my foot fell asleep. In the time between the 2 stoplights from the daycare to my house, I could feel that from about my rib cage down on my right side seemingly was gone. Could not feel it. At this point, I knew something was going on. And my construction training and all the safety that we've been focused on kicked in. And I said, this seems like a stroke to me. And I know that time is of the essence. I knew that had been beaten into my head. And so I said, I need to get to the hospital. And so that's what I did. Got to the hospital as soon as I could. I went in, I said, I'm having a stroke. I don't know that they overly believe me. They asked me to sign in and to have a seat. And so I signed in, and I was trying to gather myself. I was pretty worried. And by the time I touched the chair, I stood right back up, and I went right to the counter. I said, no, I'm having a stroke, and someone needs to see me now. And a nurse who was helping someone else heard me, and she said, honey, can you smile for me? And I smiled, at least what I thought was a smile. And she quickly said, get him back here now. And then it was kind of game on. There was a whole team ready. They were rushing me through the hallways. They were administering care. They started talking to me. I was in a CT machine before I knew it. And then I was placed in a room, and they said, you're right. You're having a stroke.
Well, I think everybody, and his mom and I and Laura, we were all sort of in a state of shock because, again, it doesn't happen to young people. But the fact that he was able to have the realization that something wasn't right, and he just took the action he needed to take at the time.
I was shocked, of course. That's nothing you want your kid to go through. I'm so thankful for the training that he did have and that he paid attention to it, because I know me growing up, it was like, if you're sick, give it 7 to 10 days. You didn't run to the doctor. So I'm thankful he had the training and recognized it, and that they were able to treat him so well. Very proud of him.
When you're going through that, and when they confirm you're going through that, your mind just goes to dark corners. I can remember picking up my phone, and I'm right-handed, so this was even worse. I couldn't use my hand. And I was typing notes to my kids because I wasn't sure where this was gonna go. My mind would think about, am I gonna have the function back? Am I gonna hug my family again? Am I gonna play ball with my, then 5-year-old kids? Am I gonna hug them? So I ended up being in the hospital for about a week, 7-8 days. Underwent a ton of tests, from brain scans, numerous CTs, numerous heart tests, everything that we ran the gauntlet. And in the end, it came back that I had insanely high blood pressure, undiagnosed high blood pressure. And they asked me, they said, has anyone told you have high blood pressure? And I said, no, but to be fair, I haven't seen a doctor in roughly 12 years. And so I just assumed I was healthy. I felt fine that day. If you would have asked me, I would have told you I felt fine. And what I know now is that I built up a very high tolerance to this as slow changes over those 12 years. The increases, I didn't notice them, but my body did. This was my first brush with mortality as an adult and as a father. And so I needed time to process it. I needed to figure out how to deal with it. I'm someone that usually has a plan. I usually don't get caught off guard too often. And this one caught me off guard. This one knocked me down in the ring. And I had to figure out how I was going to do that. It took until the American Heart Association asked me to be a part of the Leaders of Impact. I hadn't talked about it, but when they asked, I knew the answer was going to be yes. And when I agreed to it, I said, all right, here it is. This is whether it's a sign from the Almighty or just the way things worked out. This was going to be my launch pad to go tell this story and tell it to anyone that would listen.
I actually think that was a God-sent blessing to then turn around and not let it just go, just say, okay, happened, big deal. It's okay, I'm fine. But now to get involved and to give back, maybe that's why he survived it.
I want to stay involved with the Heart Association. I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me personally, but for everyone that they touch and what they keep fighting for. I'm going to just help out wherever I can, and I'm going to encourage others to keep doing that too.